Welcome to my YouTube channel, StoryZoon7, a place where fear has no end. Turn off the lights, close your door, and prepare yourself, because the darkness is waiting for you.
The Haunted Winter Night. Full horror story. In English, it was a freezing winter night. The wind howled like a wild beast, tearing through the trees, stripped bare of their leaves. The sky was heavy with black clouds, and the forest was drowned in darkness. In a small, forgotten village, there was an old legend everyone knew. Do not wander outside after midnight when it rains or snows. That is when the evil spirits roam, searching for a body to claim. But Samer, a young man who loved adventure, never believed in such tales. He always laughed at them, saying, "Just stories to scare children." That night, when the snowstorm was at its worst, Samer decided to prove everyone wrong. He grabbed his camera and walked into the forest. He wanted to capture pictures and show the world there was nothing to fear. The deeper he went, the quieter it became. Then, whispers. At first, they were faint, like the wind playing tricks. But slowly, they became words, clear and sharp. "Leave this place before we take you." Samer froze. His breath turned to mist in the icy air. He turned around quickly, but saw nothing, only trees swaying in the storm. He forced a laugh, trying to convince himself it was all in his head. But then he felt it, eyes watching him, a presence behind him. He spun around again, nothing, and yet the whispers followed him, circling closer and closer. Suddenly, in the distance, he saw it, a dim light glowing inside an abandoned cabin. Everyone in the village knew that cabin. Years ago, a family lived there. One night, during a storm, they vanished without a trace. Since then, no one dared to enter. Samer's curiosity overcame his fear. He pushed open the creaking door. Inside, the cabin was cold and dusty. On the wooden floor were strange footprints, human-like, but stretched, long fingers instead of toes. Before Samer could take another step, the dim light flickered and died. Darkness swallowed the cabin. Then, breathing, slow, heavy, behind him, he turned slowly, heart pounding in his chest. Two glowing red eyes stared back at him from the corner. The figure stepped forward, a tall, thin body with pale, dead skin, crawling unnaturally across the floor. The spirits he mocked were no longer just stories. A voice echoed in the cabin, cold and cruel. "You belong to us now." Samer ran for the door, but it slammed shut with a violent crash. The windows shattered, icy wind and snowstorm blasting inside. Shadows began to move across the walls, twisting and laughing. A hand, freezing and bony, grabbed his leg. He screamed as he was dragged into the darkness. The last sound he heard was a chorus of inhuman laughter, echoing through the storm. Samer never returned to the village. But even now, villagers say if you walk near that abandoned cabin on a stormy winter night, you will hear a camera clicking in the darkness, taking pictures by itself. And if you listen closely, you will hear whispers calling your name, waiting for their next victim.